What is big, bad Stephen Jones made in his first month of being part of One Call Closers?
My very first month working at One Call Closers, I made over $15,000 in commissions.
Woo! Let's freaking go, baby! 15 smackaroonies in the first month, guys. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Closers Network podcast. Guys, I'm fired up today to introduce our guest, but before we do, I just want to remind you guys what this community is for, right? What this channel is for. And so if you're looking to take your remote high-ticket sales experience to the next level, then definitely, guys, you want to get into our school community and click the link in the description below so that you can get on the school platform and get free 5 days of training, right? Where you can also potentially get placement into one of our offers here. And if you're someone who's already in the space and already on a remote high ticket offer and you're looking to just 2, 3, 4x your commissions potentially, then you want to click the first link in the description below and schedule a call with us to talk about that. So guys, today's guest has a story that's going to have you glued to your seat. So he started selling at 19, working in energy deregulation, loan mods, health and wellness, and a lot more. Before getting into sales and becoming a sales leader who's generated over $150 million in revenue, he launched his own company as a partner with T-Mobile. And he onboarded 1,800 agents, generating $3 million a month in recurring revenue. Guys, this guy knows sales, right? He's been able to travel to 43 different states. He speaks fluent Spanish, although he's not Hispanic. And he's learned about business a lot while fishing in Alaska, Japan, and Cabo with a multi-millionaire mentor who happened to be friends with Jim Rohn. Guys, here's where things are going to get really interesting about our guest today. After a big curveball earlier this year, he actually joined One Call Closers, our sales agency, and has been absolutely crushing it in the world of high ticket sales. Get ready to dive into mindset, strategy, and lessons our guest has learned on the journey that's going to be packed with personal self-development and the pursuit to freedom. Guys, he's a savage. He's someone I really look up to. Please help me welcome big, bad, the one, the only, Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much, Mike, for that very warm welcome. You're somebody I look up to as well, so I'm very grateful to be on here right now to be able to share my story with the audience.
That's awesome, man. Let's dive into that. Speaking of your story, man, it's, you've gotten the... I've had the pleasure to hear your story a little bit more in depth. So I'd love for you to walk us through. Did Stephen ever go to high school or college? And if he did or didn't, how did you get your start started in sales? I believe at the age of 19, you mentioned. That's
a great question. I appreciate you asking that. I got my start going actually to college. I graduated high school. I went to a junior college in Fullerton. And on my third day there, somebody approached me asking me, what's my dream car? And I wasn't too sure what this guy was doing. He was a little bit weird. He was all in my face, but I answered. I knew what I wanted. I said, I want a Ferrari one day. And he told me, well, I think I have a way for you to get that. And so right away, he had my attention. I thought, interesting. This guy just approached me in school. He's offering me a way to get a Ferrari. And I said, well, what do I got to do? He said, show up at this office in Irvine on Saturday at 8 a.m., dress in business attire, and I'll introduce you to a millionaire that could probably help you do that. So that's how I got my start in sales. Somebody prospected me randomly on college campus. I showed up to a meeting. They pitched me an opportunity and I signed up.
Wow. Dude, so did you finish college?
I did not. That was my last day of college.
Okay. That's what I wanted people to hear. That was interesting because I didn't know that either. So you didn't finish college. At 19, you basically dropped out from what I'm hearing and you went straight into sales.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So dude, this is why it's so crazy because guys, sales is all about opportunities. Life is all about opportunities. And what I hear Stephen saying is, hey, I got presented an opportunity, right? And I freaking took it. So help me understand, you got involved at 19 doing that. What was the transition like from there to really taking things to the next level and understanding like eventually getting to T-Mobile, right? I would love to kind of hear a little bit about that transition if you don't mind sharing.
Absolutely. So the first opportunity, I had a great mentor. He had trained dozens of millionaires and he taught us very important wealth concepts like earning profits are better than wages. If you can earn income through leverage and residual systems, it leads you to wealth quicker. So learning those things, it kind of set me on the direction of personal development and growth, learning sales tactics, figuring out how to get better. And I was obsessed. And early on, I met a guy who was making $100,000 a month in commissions and sales in that office. In 2005, we had no technology, nothing that we have now as tools.
Wow.
And he was absolutely crushing it. And I told myself, look, I'll do whatever it takes to become influential, sophisticated, driven, smart, just like this guy is, so I can have those same results. So that led me on a quest. I've invested a lot of time and money going to seminars. That's actually where I got my start, was going to conventions and seminars, watching speakers, trying to emulate them so I can get their results.
So, dude, what I hear you saying is, although I dropped out of college, I still invested in myself, going to seminars, surrounding myself with people that have actually done the things that I want to do. And they actually pretty much have the lifestyle they want to have. So they have this blueprint that they've laid out. And you saw that and you're like, hey, man, if I could kind of learn from that, why reinvent the wheel? Like, this person's already making $100,000 a month, right? Why go out there and try to figure out how to do it on my own when this person's already doing it, essentially?
Exactly. One thing my mentor told me early on was success leaves clues. And you want to pay attention to those clues, and if somebody's working a system and they're getting proven results, chances are if you follow and do the same things, you'll probably get the same results.
So is the mentor that you're talking about, would you mind sharing a little bit about who that person was?
Yeah, his name was Jerry Balla.
Jerry Balla.
He was big in the network marketing industry in the 50s and 60s. He was friends with Jim Rohn, the motivational speaker who grew Herbalife to billions of dollars.
Wow.
And right out the gates, he was teaching us principles and sales tactics that stuck with me forever. So that led me on a journey. I've read hundreds of books. Sometimes I've been in situations where I spent my last $20 I had at a thrift store on a book that might give me more knowledge when I was in a down point.
Damn.
So it was that important to me to keep learning. Over the course of years, if I fast forward, maybe, within 10 years, I'd done over $100,000 in seminars, going to 10X conferences, Russell Brunson's conferences, all of them you could think of, Anthony Robbins, John Maxwell, you name it. I've been there and I signed up and got the information.
Damn, was Steven always this way, or did he become this way? Like, did you grow up this way? Was this kind of instilled you from childhood, or did you kind of more adopt and become this way when you started surrounding yourself with these type of people?
That's a great question, Mike. I think the hunger was already with me. I grew up from humble beginnings. We didn't have much growing up. My mother was an immigrant that moved here when she was 15 from Peru.
Wow.
My father had a military background. He grew up with coal miners in the forest of West Virginia. So I knew at a young age that I didn't want that lifestyle. I knew if I can figure out a way to get out of that and become successful, that I would do my best. So the hunger was there, but it wasn't until I got around successful people that I knew how I should think and I knew what I should be doing with my time and how should I invest it.
Interesting. I love that. What's one piece of advice that Jerry Balla gave you that maybe really stuck with you and helped you shape your sales career?
He says, well, Steven, you have a lot of talent, a lot of capability, a lot of aptitude, but really what it's going to come down to is how serious you take your life, how willing you are to invest in yourself and help others to get you to where you want to be. So I adopted that mindset of constant, never-ending growth and improvement. You can learn something from anybody. When we first met and I seen your first training on the school platform, I was blown away. I said, man, how can this person know so much about remote high-ticket sales? Because I had seen dozens and dozens of trainers, but I never met anybody that knows the information that you know, Mike.
Dude, that's crazy. I appreciate it. Damn, dude, that's freaking awesome. So this is cool to hear that, hey, you had the hunger because you saw what you didn't want, right, from growing up. And then you surround yourself with the right people that got you sort of the right mindset is what I'm hearing to help you elevate and get to a next level, essentially.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes from experience too.
Yeah.
I mentioned today in our chat, somebody was commenting, David Mullins, that I took the bonus away from this week on our campaign right now, which in 2 days. And I had to let them know, there's situations where somebody that's really good at something, it's because they've done it over and over and over again. They've gone through the repetition, they've gone through the experience. And I think that has a lot to do with performance, is getting the skills, but also getting the chance to go out there and apply them to get better.
There's no doubt about it, man. There's no doubt about it. You need to, I like to explain, hey, you're going to get in the game, but you got to put in those reps at practice, right? And get dialed in, do the basics, get all that stuff out of the way. So when it's game time, dude, you're ready to go.
That's right.
And then you need a lot of games to get better, right? That's essentially what it is. Man, so speaking of experiences, right? If you guys didn't know, big bad Stephen Jones got a nice little Porsche. So he's on his way to that Ferrari is what I'm hearing. But man, I would love to hear, Stephen, what kind of experiences and opportunities has sales provided for you, man?
It's been a game changer for me. I've had a chance to travel to over 16 different countries. I've had vacations where I've spent $50,000 going to Europe for 1 month.
Sheesh.
It opens up a lot of freedom. I've been able to invest into businesses, whether they did very well or failed. The opportunity was there. It's allowed me to meet people and enter circles that I would never got into. So I highly recommend sales for anybody. Because no matter what you do, if you want to own a business, you want to become a CEO, you have to master sales or you're going to have to outsource it. You're going to have to hire a VP of sales. You're going to have to put your future and revenue in somebody else's hands.
Do you think everyone could do sales?
Absolutely. Sales is a learned skill. If you're hungry, coachable, and willing to do it, they can learn it.
Damn, let's freaking go. So, dude, one of the things we talked about, if you guys didn't see our last podcast episode, guys, I had a chance to bring on Richard, our founder and CEO of One Call Closers and the Closers Network. And Richard specifically brought up Steven, right? Because Steven's been around with us for about 2.5 months now. And dude, right out the gate, and we're going to get into some numbers. And I'm excited to share some numbers that Steven has been able to pull in the first month in the world of remote high ticket sales. But before we go there, Richard said something profound about you, man. And I'm 100% in alignment. We're talking about identity and self-image, right? And Richard brought you up as an example of someone who just believes and wears the identity of I'm a top closer. Like, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to be at the top of the leaderboard. Like, this is the person that I am. Like, speaking of identity, right? Like, how did you become, you kind of shared and alluded to a little bit earlier, but like, how did you wear this identity of, hey man, I'm going to be at the top. I'm going to crush it. Like, where did that come from? Is it just more mentorship, or did you have a defining moment at all where it kind of made you realize like something? Like, I'd love to kind of hear that from you.
Absolutely. So it did start out where having some early on success gives you confidence and you feel like, okay, I've accomplished certain things. Maybe people in your peer group haven't accomplished it. That helps you level up. But it really comes down to knowing where you're headed and what you want out of life. If someone else is a top producer, they're no different than we are. They put their pants on one leg at a time. Mm-hmm. They have breakfast, they have problems, they have, all the issues that we faced. Part of that is being able to block all that out and focus 100% on solving the problem or doing the sale, whatever the customer is at hand, things like that. I think the other side is the mindset of no matter what I do, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to be good at this. Whether I don't know how to do it now, I'll read however many books I have to read. I'll attend how many seminars. I'll ask for as much advice as I need to till I figure this out. So I think it's that mindset.
Dude, that's it. That's freaking it right there, right? Like, man, like this is the mindset that I always talk about. How do you think someone can adopt that a little bit more on this journey, especially as they don't have this many skills. They haven't been, they didn't grow sales teams and generate $150 million and just all the things that you've kind of been able to do, bring $3 million a month in recurring revenue. I mean, the stories go on and on. But like, how do you think someone could get better at doing that?
I think you got to be willing to do training. My whole career, any opportunity I was a part of, any mentorship I had, I never missed one training session. Wow. If they offered a piece of information to get, I'd travel there and got it. If there was a way I can attend in person, I'd be there. And I would sit as close as I can and take as many notes as I can. I took it serious. I knew that early on, we can have more than we have because we can become more than we are. And that really stuck in my mind where I thought, okay, if I could learn this, no matter what, I can get good at it. So.
Damn, you know what I have to say about Steven, guys? And he just said it, but I have to confirm that this is 1000% true. The guy is the top of the leaderboard within the company and the offer he represents right now, right? And it's for a big name influencer, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But he just said he never misses a meeting. He never misses a training. And guys, like since day one, okay, this man has been on every single meeting that we've done, every single team training, every single live call role play. He is showing up. Like he's not thinking, hey, I'm the top of the leaderboard. I'm number one and I'm too good to show up to these trainings. Dude, you're always showing up to these freaking trainings. And I appreciate that a lot about you. And I think you inspired the team and you show them even like, damn, bro, like Steven's number one every single month, but like he's still showing up to these things. And you literally said you take it serious and you don't miss like a meeting, you don't miss a training because you've realized like, dude, every little thing could give you an edge that you're looking for is kind of what I hear you saying.
Absolutely, Mike. I heard early on, from one of my mentors, if you're too big for the small stuff, Now you're too small for the big stuff moving forward.
Dang.
So when I heard that, I thought, okay, no matter what, I always got to humble myself and get in that mentality that there's something here I'm going to learn, or maybe I can help somebody. And I figured out by teaching people other stuff that it makes you better. Same thing in the sales game. The more you share, the more knowledge grows, essentially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dude, if there's one piece of advice you can share, right? And I think you talked about the importance of learning skills, having discipline, and strategic planning, which is essentially what we're discussing here. Is there anything else you feel like you want to add to that you feel like would be important for the listener to know on top of everything else you kind of just dropped on them?
I think for me, the biggest value I would have had if I would have done something different in my career was have more better habits, more better discipline. Habits. Yeah, be able to stay on top of my goals. We all heard what gets you there won't keep you there. Whenever you hit a certain milestone in your career, that's the time to double down and think about how can I get it even better? How can I change who I am and level up? What could I get rid of in my life that's holding me back? I think there's times where I could have made those decisions and I took the easier route, and it cost me tremendously in my success and where I would be today.
Damn. Guys, he's giving you nuggets that not a lot of people are going to give you because he's keeping it real right now, right? And we're all about keeping it real, right? So, dude, I appreciate you sharing this stuff because I think it's important for people to listen and hear, like, all the things you've done, and you just being vulnerable and honest is like, dude, I could have even better habits. I could even done X, Y, Z, right? So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. One more thing I think you wanted to kind of share that I think is really cool. So you talked about with me that you, I believe your grandpa, coal miner in West Virginia, talked about saving and investing 20% of your income. Can you talk a little bit about that and how maybe that's had any type of impact for you?
Yeah. So looking back now, I was trying to pick up what he was trying to teach me. And what he wanted me to understand is maybe I have a chance to change our family's generational wealth. But no matter how much I earn or how big I can grow a business, if I don't save and invest a portion of that money for the future or for future generations, that nothing's going to change. My grandpa had a very limited life. He lived in the same house he was born in all of his life.
Whoa.
He never left the country. He never even seen more than 5 different states. So just 2 generations later, I've been all around the world. I've been to almost every state. I've had incredible experiences. So now it's like, okay, what do I got to do to set up the next generation? My children, now that I have children, it's like, how do I set them up to be able to get an advantage from where I was? So my advice would be what he told me. It doesn't matter if you make $1 million. If you spend $1 million in one, you're still going to be broke at the end of the day.
Damn, bro. I wish I had some freaking bombs to drop over here. Jeez, man. And speaking of freaking dropping bombs, guys, yesterday we had the privilege to actually get on Brad Lee's podcast, Dropping Bombs. So stay tuned for that because in about the next week or two, you'll see Richard and I on Dropping Bombs podcast and talking about an opportunity which could get you right next to Steven, right? So we'll get into that a little bit. Dude, so, you talked about sales has changed your life, and you've also helped transform other people's lives in sales. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, from what I understand, you've also created a couple millionaires.
Yes, Mike.
So can you tell us a little bit about how you've helped mentor other people and what kind of impact that's had in your life?
Somebody has always been there for me when I need an opportunity. And whether it's, the universe, God has favorites, whatever, it's always blessed me at the right time, at the right place. Somebody stepped up and shared with me a chance to do something big, kind of like you did when we first met, Mike. That's why I'm so grateful for our relationship, because you were that person to me also. So whenever I have a chance to do that for somebody else, I absolutely always say, I'll give someone the shirt off my back if I can, if it'll help them level up. So for me, somebody's given me a chance where they've given me opportunities and I've taken advantage of it. So anytime I can give back, I tend to do the same. To be specific about the individuals, I had some major contracts in sales that we were doing. And instead of kind of making money off them or positioning myself to profit from them, I kind of gave them the same opportunity I had to win. And because I did that, they completely changed their lives. They went from making no money, destitute, ripped off, to be able to make multiple 6 figures. And then over the course of time, buy houses, start families, become investors. And now before the age of 30, 2 of them have become multimillionaires. So we don't still maintain the close relationship. We kind of went our ways, but I know deep down, if I ever need something, I call those guys, they'll drop whatever they're doing and they'll be there for me,
That's awesome, man. That's the type of relationships that I think are just so valuable to have. And and real and raw, man. So that's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. So, dude, you had a lot of success with the affordability connectivity program, or the affordable connectivity program. But unfortunately, it seems like that had to come to a halt. You guys were on to something really big, 1,800 agents, $3 million a month recurring revenue. And this is after all the other amazing accomplishments and things you've done in the sales space. But like, help me understand, dude, like, how does someone like mentally handle a setback like that? And is there any like wisdom you can give to someone that's maybe going through something similar? And it may not even be anywhere as near as big of a scale as what you've done, but it could be just a smaller version of that. Like, what would you tell that person that may be experiencing some sort of setback right now? And what kind of mindset do they need to tackle that?
That's a great question, because that's probably one of the most challenging human experiences you can go through as an entrepreneur. It took me 10 years to build my credibility to be able to get into a position where I could open my own company, get a license directly with the government to provide free internet to the country. And with that, it was my dream. I went all out massive action for 2.5 years. We strategically aligned all the partners we needed. We integrated all the verticals. We brought in all the investors. We had the perfect business scenario. All we had to do was keep working. And then just like that, the government decided to defund the program that was helping 22 million individuals. So how do you bounce back from that? It's absolutely devastating. There's going to be times where you just can't get your mind out of it. But I think that's when you got to really focus. Like, somebody can take all your opportunity from you. They can take all of your staff, all your business. One thing they can never take away from you is your knowledge, your magic, your desire to make it happen. Your ability to adapt and overcome circumstances as a human being is just incredible. So no matter what you're going through in life right now, whether it's the loss of a loved one, loss of a relationship, loss of a business, you're going to bounce back. Now's the time to double down, search for more opportunity, dig deep, and then just make something else happen without losing any enthusiasm or any of that desire that you have to make it possible.
There you go, guys. There you go, man. That is freaking profound. And, my dad always told me that from a very young age. He's like, dude, like, you could lose everything you have. All the money can come and go. All the properties can come and go, X, Y, and Z. But the one thing they'll never be able to take from you is the knowledge. Dude, that's exactly what my dad told me, like, probably from a very young age, like 12, 13.
Wow.
And so, but it's really all about like the grit, right? At the end of the day is what I hear you saying is like, dude, you had the grit, you had to get your head right and just control what you can, cope with what you can't, and concentrate on what counts, right? And here you are. And you've made a transition now into the world of remote high ticket sales, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. Going from doing all the things you have, running companies, just involved in so many awesome stuff. Your first month, let's talk about your first month in the transition to the remote high ticket sales space.
Let's go.
What is Big Bad Stephen Jones made in his first month of being part of One Call Closers in commissions?
One Call Closers has absolutely saved me from my situation. My very first month working at One Call Closers, I made over $15,000 in commissions.
Woo! Let's freaking go, baby! 15 smackaroonies in the first month, guys. On a brand new offer, I should say. Guys, let me tell you something about Big Bad Stephen Jones here, okay? So we help scale and grow a lot of different offers for a lot of pretty big names in the space. And we recently just partnered with one, right? And Stephen Jones, guys, on day one of this offer, came in hot and saved the day with 3 wins on day one, right? On the freaking first day of an offer, something that's never been proven or sold before. He was able to come in, bring the BDE, as I call it, and just make it freaking happen. And in the freaking first month, guys, he made over $15,000 in commissions at One Call Closers. That's freaking crazy, dude. Like, how did you feel when that happened?
Incredible. For me, I thought, okay, here's my next chance. Here's the next thing I got to learn and do. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of my success has to do with your guys' system. One Call Closers has figured this process out. If you're looking to be a remote high ticket closer, you guys have the blueprint. You know what to do A to Z. You have the psychology. You have the knowledge. Everything somebody needs to be successful. So really all I did was come in and follow the system. I paid attention, did everything you guys told me to do, followed the steps, and then I've been able to achieve these kind of results. So to me, it's incredible. I think the high ticket space is phenomenal. When I look back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was in sales, we never had opportunities like this where a young person can come in, learn the skills, work remotely or work anywhere in the world and create multiple 6 figures a year. It completely has blown me away.
That's incredible, man. I'm so pumped because like this is just a beginning, and recently we made some really awesome changes to that offer. So like, I think the potential there is easy going to be able to double that like now and very soon. So it's very exciting to me. But also what I'm hearing Steven say is kind of like, hey, like just like in the past, he's had mentors and individuals he's surrounding himself that have kind of been at the places he's wanted to be. He's just replicated that blueprint, right? And essentially what he just is saying is like, hey man, you guys had the blueprint here at One Call Closers. I was able to come in, utilize the system and make it happen, guys. And that's what it's all about, right? And if you're someone that's serious about actually getting placement with us and getting that type of training that Steven has and getting placed on an offer where you can just do some damage, right? Help a lot of people out and really make a lot of money, then again, guys, make sure you click that link in the description below and get involved, get inside of our school platform, schedule a call with us and talk to us about getting placement with some coaching, right? On a legitimate offer where you can have the potential to make multiple six figures. So dude, that's freaking awesome, man. I'm so excited because this is just the beginning. We're obviously just about a little over 2 months in and the offer is just getting a lot more dialed in. So I think the potential is going to be huge. So I'm just excited to see like all the different things you're going to be able to do with us. So, and I should say this Friday, we're going out this Friday.
That's right.
We're going out this Friday, guys. So we are taking Big Bad Steven Jones to, if you guys don't know, this restaurant that's really pretty known down here, at least where we are, down in Southern California, Nobu. So we're going down to Nobu. We're going to have some sushi. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be awesome. And I'm excited, man. Well deserved. And we're just fired up to have a great time with you. So we can't wait for that. Dude, you're fluent in Spanish. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that comes from my background. My mom actually grew up in Peru, where Nobu's from. So my mom has a family friend that actually knows Nobu from Peru, from his original restaurant in Peru. Yes.
What?
So yeah, once he came out to Hollywood and started Matsuhitsu, I used to eat there all the time when I lived in Hollywood. But now it's grown into this empire because of his relationships with like Robert De Niro and the investments he's got. So yeah.
Dude, I didn't know you lived in Hollywood.
Yeah, I lived in a penthouse right off Sunset Boulevard across from the Chinese Theater for a couple of years.
Dude, what years was this around? Because like I literally lived right off of Sunset and Vermont. Like,
oh wow,
like relatively like probably 10 minutes away.
This was 2019 all the way up till 2000 end of 2021 for 2 years.
Wow, dang, bro. Okay. So that's interesting. I didn't even know you spent some time in Hollywood. Good old Hollywood.
Interesting
Penthouse
place.
Action. Yeah, interesting place for sure. Got a lot of characters down there. Man, that's awesome. So. Has being bilingual at all helped your sales career?
It has in certain situations. It definitely gets your foot in the door. I always tell people the more languages you learn, the better off you are, especially living in Southern California. We're in a melting pot, but there is a large demographic of Latin Americans and Hispanics. So absolutely, it does help.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Couple more things I want to get into, man, is, you spend a lot of time on those fishing trips with some mentors, right? What were some lessons you took away? And I think you shared some stuff earlier, but is there anything else like that maybe kind of helped influence your career or gave you a different perspective on those boat rides?
Absolutely. Going out and flying somewhere to like Alaska and somebody spending tens of thousands of dollars just to fish for a week kind of opened my mind up thinking like, how can they afford these things? My family can't even afford to go out to SeaWorld, and we're over here spending this kind of money. So I started asking questions. I said, well, how'd you become so wealthy? The first thing he told me, he says, well, I learned sales and business. So right away, I thought, okay, how do I learn sales and business? And he started telling me things like, look, you're going to get a job pretty soon here in the next few years. I think I was 16 at the time. And he said, what's more important, is the job you're working at every day or doing personal development 1 hour a day around that job? And we would say, oh, the job, we need money. And he would tell us, no, man, you got to do that personal development no matter what's going on in your life. And that's what's going to make you a millionaire. So those type of lessons really got me fixated on, all right, it's not about so much what work you do or what the opportunity is. It's how good am I at getting this? And then he also told us things that, hard work always beats talent. So you can be the best salesperson in the world, but if you're not doing as many appointments and as many leads and having as many conversations as somebody who has 1/10 of your skill, they're going to outperform you every time.
Damn.
So the ideal person to be is someone that's really good at sales and outworks everybody, because then nobody has a chance to beat you.
Damn, guys, he's giving you the keys to the kingdom right here, baby. Like, this is value right here. He's just literally dropping wisdom right now on you guys, right? That he got from wise mentors of his, right? And so, dude, that's freaking incredible. That's really powerful stuff right there. Man, I guess if Steven was to start all over again today, right? Let's just say you were 19-year-old Steven again, you're getting into the game. Like, what would be the first thing? And it sounds like it might be training, right? And putting in the hard work. But like, is there anything else that you would do starting out right now? Like knowing what you know now?
Yes. If I had to start all over again, I would focus on eliminating all the distractions and negative habits that I have in my life. By distractions, I mean the wrong people. If there's people you're surrounded by that aren't headed in the direction, and the reason you guys are hanging out is because you have a common past and not a common future, you need to get rid of those people. I hang around some of those people for way too long. I got caught up in a material, hedonistic lifestyle of wanting to go out to nightclubs, spending money on bottles, chasing things that get you no value. And to be honest, it's a big waste of time and waste of money. So my recommendation for new people coming into sales who are making a lot of money, maybe you're motivated and you want to do things, make sure you're on track, you have good habits, and you don't get off track by surrounding yourself with the wrong people.
Damn. Avoid those distractions and surround yourself with the right people, guys. And if you're looking to surround yourself with the right people, get in our school community. It's free. You get 5 days a week live coaching, guys. The same people that have scaled our sales agency to over $200 million in 5 years are the same individuals that are giving you the free game, free coaching inside of the school platform. And we also give you free courses. So take advantage of it. And if that's not enough for you, you're like, dude, I want more. I want the opportunity. I want the placement. I want the coaching. Then definitely you can schedule a call with us and chat a little bit more in depth about that.
One thing I love about the school community that I've noticed from the coaches, Mike, is, all the coaches, they're all from different walks of life. They have different styles of selling, but they're all incredibly successful and all their styles work. And it makes me think of what Coach Trish said, that what you mentioned, everything works. It's all about your conviction, how you apply it, and how good you know it, so.
That's right. Yeah. That's freaking right. All right. Good stuff. Man, I think we talked about a lot of different stuff that I wanted to get into with you. And I'm excited because we're going to have you back on here very soon, hopefully. But that being said, Steven, man, so do you have a favorite sales movie or TV show?
I do. Obviously, it's going to be Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay.
Something about the extravagance of it, just the level of intensity that they go through in there. It's something else.
Yeah, for sure. And then on that same note, is there a sales thought leader or influencer that you would maybe want to have dinner with, dead or alive? And if so, any idea who would be?
For me, I'm a big fan of Jim Rohn. Farm boy from Idaho has been able to create wealth of $500 million plus back in the 80s. He's mentored people like Jim Rohn, Jeff Olson, a list of who's who of who's successful now. For me, it'd be a conversation with him for sure.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, man. Is there anything that we haven't discussed on the podcast yet that you want to kind of leave with the listener today?
I think I want to let everybody know, if you're thinking about getting into sales and you're not too sure about it, but you want to have the type of results that salespeople get, I suggest you join the school community, get to know the coaches, set up a book a call so you can see if it's a good fit for you. And then just jump in and go all out. This is a chance for you to really position yourself to have a much better lifestyle financially. So I recommend everybody at least check it out and see if it works for them.
Bam, bam, bam. There you have it, folks. Straight from Big Bad Steven Jones. Steven, thank you so much, man, for coming out. I can't wait to have you back on again. I know you're going to freaking crush this offer or continue to crush this offer and just take it to a whole new level. So I'm excited for you to come back on and share that journey with us a little bit. Appreciate you, man, a ton. Again, I look up to you, dude. You're like a mentor to me. So I'm excited to do it again, man. So guys, we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace.